Hey y'all, welcome back to the garage. We are here for part number 2 of the Sleepy Headlight install. As you saw in the beginning, I've already finished up the left side, so now I can show you directly just how to finish this up. I'm very happy with how the left side one turned out. A couple of the mistakes that I made on the other side, and the first one being is on the actuator arm, I tightened this bolt down too far and then my headlight wasn't popping up and going down. And basically I learned that you need to actually leave this just a little bit loose, a little bit of slack in there, but you want to make sure before you thread it in that you put some Loctite on it so it doesn't go rattling out on you. The other thing I found was right up here on the top of your headlight bracket, I wanted a little more adjustment out of my headlight than what I was getting. Actually ground this away with a Dremel. That may be something that you may want to consider doing. So picking back up on this project where I left off last week, we were putting the motor arm in place. I got that done, and I am ready to install the headlight onto the bracket. And to get started with that is I am going to be installing first the fastener on the small side bracket, and that's one that has the alignment dowel on it. That's going to go over here on this side, but you can't see because my new equipment is out of focus. There we go, right over here. And you're just going to push your alignment dowel through the hole in the bracket there. Start your 1/4 hex head screw. I'm going to tell you, do it by hand first. I've already had to drill and retap one of the holes because I started to cross thread, so be careful with that. So I got that one threaded, it's all bolted down. It's on that adjuster bracket nice and tight. Now, when I got over to this one of the things I learned on the other side, it's just easier to pop this bracket off, install it, and then put the light on. It's a bushing with a ball stud. So you can, as long as they're lined up, these do have, well, the top one doesn't, but the bottom one does have a thread on it for the adjuster screw. And all you have to do is just make sure that's lined up and going into the bushing. I had to replace the bushings, mine were all worn out. I think they were like $5 on eBay. I got the bracket on there. I put the fasteners in, just a couple of threads, but before I go finish and tightening those down, I'm going to do one extra thing here, and that is I'm going to put just a drop Loctite on the thread so that those don't go rattling out. And yes, I should be using blue Loctite, but somebody in the shop borrowed it and I can't find it. Now the Loctite's on there, finish screwing these down evenly. And the bracket's ready to go back on. So I already popped the top one on. Bottom one, it's a little stiffer, it's got new bushings in it. So I'm just gonna take a pair of channel locks here and I'm gonna squeeze it till it pops on. Just that simple. Now before you go getting too excited and wanting to flip your headlights up and down, you're gonna see that the way I've done this, that I don't have clearance here. Basically, I'm going to take the adjusters, I'm going to turn them both all the way in. Once those brackets are adjusted all the way back, you grab your wires, you're going to plug it into the high beam weather pack connector. Tuck your wires back in. I am going to put weather pack connector caps on those. And that's pretty much about it for installing the light. Now what I got to do is get this adjusted and level with the one on the other side. I think I got it pretty well level. Go ahead and tighten that down. Now, one of the last parts I was waiting on from eBay is the headlight door adjuster bracket. Mine was cracked. These were all dry rotted. It was time to replace it. And the crappy part about this is even though I marked the other one before I took it off, because this is what sets the angle of your door and its height and adjustment and everything, it didn't do me a bit of good.
I'm not stupid.
Hindsight, if I was to do this again, what I would have done was taken a paint marker and I would have put paint marks right where the bracket lined up and made my life a lot easier. But I don't tend to do that. I am going to leave this loose. I'm going to look at the alignment marks on the other bracket, and I'm going to slide this around to where it looks like the other one was sitting, and hope that it gets me somewhat close. Okay, that's just lightly put in place. I'm going to put a couple of fasteners in the headlight door itself. At this point, we're going to operate the light and see how far off our adjustment is. Yeah, that's far off. Kind of figured that was going to be the case. All right, so the headlight's in, it's working. Got the door bracket on, got the door back on. It's been about 45 minutes adjusting the door. I still got a little ways to go, but I'm closer. Still got to adjust the gap here, make sure it gets even right about here, so it's got to kind of cock that way just a little bit more, and then this edge is sticking up too high. So, and on that note, because I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me cussing and swearing, that's going to be the conclusion of the Sleepy Headlight install. If you liked this video, found it helpful, smash that like button, leave us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and follow along on Instagram, and you'll see what this looks like once I've got the doors all adjusted on it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.